Again, as Griffin takes it, I want to see if C9 is able to contest.
Well, Blabber at the moment not looking like he's going to attempt to, Jat. Unfortunately, He has some Krugs that have been rubber banded towards the bottom side. Chovy, not going to find any chains or anything like that to answer the little nap that he took, courtesy of Niski, and this Dragon will be taken down without a contest on Griffin's side. Having a look at the gold, however, it is still a slight advantage for C.
They went super scaling and it worked as TP's coming in.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage onto Tarzan there. He still has the kick. He's going to use it there. Waits for Chovy to make his way down, but the exit there from Blabber, the teleports from just about everyone on C9's side are going to mean that they all survive. However, not able to lock down the Lee Sin.
They can maybe make a play with the Rift Tower here. In fact, they'll jam it instantly. As I mentioned it, Chovy tries to move the minions as much as he can, but only so much he can do. Look at Lee Sin, he has to back, and the TP is invested, and at least the charge will come in truly.
Yep, so they're not going to lose the turret, will Griffin. However, that is a bit of plate gold, and also taking that outer turret down to half health is definitely high value. Chovy popping over the wall, and it looks like C9 want to continue this one. As Viper with the courage is going to keep himself alive. Grand challenge issued towards the top side. That's Licorice utilizing the riposte for damage as Sword is going to have to flash away.
And now he's flashless.
Gets the extra movement speed. Flash, good sidestep from Sword, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. As Tarzan comes on down, Sword still alive for so long. The last auto gets there, but first blood goes to Tarzan.
But Blabber still dies for it. That's the Blabber aggression. Some of the reason you submit is because he's going for those plays. Some of the reasons you start Sven scaring as well is because
the cocoon, though. He was just straight up dead, and you don't get the return kill and the first blood goal going over to Tarzan. So certainly, fantastic play there from Sword. Want to see more of it here from the top laner that hasn't been the starting top laner for the last little while, only since returning to Worlds as he retained his spot.
All right.
Blabber underneath the turret, not going to find Chovy as he continues walking all the way back to the distortion, but Chovy's still alive somehow as Blabber eventually takes him down, but that's a 1-for-1. Niski's going to be there. Cannon Barrage for fun, bit of a party, but
enemy
not going to be...
So Niski and Licorice have been able to get free time off of Blabber's plays?
Yeah. Let's say youthful exuberance.
Youthful exuberance.
Love it. Well, we'll see whether the youthful exuberance is going to continue as we move towards the mid and late game, or whether it's still lurking. No cocoon to land as Niski doesn't get the bubble, but Chovy jumps on back, trying to get the damage down. It is a stopwatch. Baited out there from Blabber as Tarzan looking to safeguard himself out. Griffin have been split, and the Drake has been started here on C9's side. That is going to be the wrong LeBlanc. Still going to be taken down very, very low as Chovy trying to use that corrupting potion to get himself back up again. Chovy picks up his cat, moves on back, and the dragon is taken here from Blabber. Great kickback there for the disengage from Tarzan, but are they out of the woods just yet? With the safeguard, the answer is yes there for Tarzan, but that's a free dragon for C9.
A crucial timing was not available. Swords, Cannon Barrage, seconds available. Away from being available, used now.
Yep, now going to be coming down in this outer turret is okay. Viper down very low, but he's able to keep himself alive for a lot longer. Great health eaten at exactly the right time from Zazel so that ultimate didn't do enough damage. And Licorice in the meantime is just taking structures.
Yeah, these last minute or two have been very promising for C9. Just watching the way that Griffin is trying to interact with this Sona Kench and how ridiculously hard it's going to be for them to kill anyone. I almost feel like
under it.
And honestly, if I see an execution call, I'm just ganking his top side.
Speaking of ganking, Licorice, that is not going to be enough. The riposte is going to be invested there as he gets on over, but there's a blast cone. Cannon Barrage this time is going to work out as Tarzan finishes it with a resonating strike.
Just out of range.
Didn't click him quite quick enough.
And even though that was a kill for Griffin, what do they really get out of it? Because C9 is able to send Blabber to the other side of the map, pick up a turret. Yes, Sword gets a little bit of farm. Really, they have to be able to do something here to this Sona Kench, which, believe me, it's pretty hard to do.
They might be able to get topside turret because you don't want to TP in. It's dead already. We didn't even see the health bar there. Licorice does not want to teleport.
Guys.
Well, the thing is, both teams have 2 sight stones as well.
Yeah.
The third, maybe.
That's why I'm saying it. They got a lot of wards.
Yeah, a lot of wards, a lot of sweepers, so it's hard to see. Also, again, a fight with no Cannon Barrage. Let's see what happens.
It's going to be a lot of roots, though, coming in from that final chapter. Niski down to half health, but Chovy is almost just straight up dead. The stun does come in. Chovy surviving for so long. Crescendo onto 3, but nothing's going to come of it. Now C9 just going to regen all of that health. WWW from Sneaky.
Not often does the war of attrition go against a very farmed hands on this Yumi's sword.
Oh my goodness, that was a lot of damage onto the gangplank.
But you can see the battery of Sona keeping everyone absolutely full health. The Ocean Drake helping out so well with that.
Yeah, a bit of frustration there from Viper as well as he dives on forward. The teleport to get in towards the backside is there finally. It is going to be the cannon barrage and Viper flashing on top of Zeyzal. Great timing on the stopwatch as Viper eventually gets that kill, but that is going to be a late flash there from Chovy. Gets himself out, but will no longer be able to participate. Somehow Griffin have limped away from the fight with a kill, but they don't have an advantage.
Licorice isn't even there. Licorice is getting the advantage on the side lane. They're getting the mid turret and a side turret off of this.
Still the incremental advantage goes the way.
Yeah, and he has no reason to ever stop playing PvE.
Agreed.
It would probably be a mistake if he actually arrives for a 5v5 team fight in this game.
Oh my goodness, almost a one-shot there onto Chovy. He's moving on out. They chose the right clone.
There's no vision from Griffin. They're going to check. Garen's going to be able to come and check this, but with the Mountain Drake, it'll still not go down fast.
No, come on, chat. What are you talking about?
So if they
said slow motion, chat.
if they had 3 Mountain Drakes,
They can't get them. There's only one left.
Well, they'll be able to
if
get
they
at
had
least 2.
2 Mountain Drakes,
It would have been a 4,000 health, chat.
no.
They could have just stayed there in 50-50.
Meanwhile,
Licorice is just going to take an inhibitor turret, so that's the reasoning there. Sword with a bit of a frustration ultimate, but Viper is making his way in. That's going to be 4 people invested. The Baron has started. You better get this kill, Griffin. Otherwise, you're going to take absolutely nothing. Eventually, he's taken down, but the Baron is getting the same treatment. A teleport going to come in. Could still be the 50-50, but it doesn't get over the wall. It wasn't the smite.
Teleport. It doesn't matter.
It just feels like C9 a Bobo the Clown. You punch it in the face, it snaps back up again, and all its elasticity. It giggles at you as you lose a turret, as you lose an inhibitor turret, as you lose a Baron. You just can't land a knockout punch on Cloud9.
Nope. And that was just a straight-up outplay in that Baron call. So 25.5 minutes into the game, C9, they already...
Griffin doesn't have the team composition to force a good 5v5 or 5v4 onto C9 because of the disengage that they have from the Sona Tahm Kench. So C9 is in an incredibly good situation if they can continue to pull this off.
I was so confident about where this game was going, about the fact that while Griffin have tools conventionally, the conventions went out when 700 supports were locked in and everyone was farming gold, sharing it.
The hard engage, we're looking for it here as the Devour is used. Sneaky flashes away, but importantly, he is still alive. Viper.
Why is Licorice there?
He's so lucky. Licorice is going to dive into the back of the fight. Tarzan goes down low, but the Fiora is dead. The Sona dies as well. Griffin may have found it. 3 kills now onto their roster, and Griffin can chase.
Instead of just hard disengaging, C9 felt obliged to go in. Licorice ends up just teleporting in to die, even though he trades a kill onto Tarzan, and that Baron power play is in the negatives now.
Exactly, it seemed like an inevitability. They break the inhibitor given the Baron buff and Fiora. Chovy's still poking onto Niski and Zeyzal against the run of play.
Cannon barrage comes in as Niski has to flash, gets out of the way of the final chapter, but Griffin now
is something that can catch them napping.
And the next Baron is up in 1 minute and 15 seconds. So Griffin is doing their reset right now. Everyone's buying the max amount of control words. Viper didn't. He doesn't have the gold to, so that's his excuse. I think that's valid.
Okay, just needed to finish off his item there as okay. Chovy gets some zoomies back as Licorice is now in the mid lane with his team, but there's the connection onto Blabber. Does land himself the cocoon. Zeyzal now has that Devour on cooldown. Griffin, they may have found another team fight. There's the crescendo, but Sneaky only finds one, and Griffin are still on the chase. They do manage to take down the zone. A huge kick into the back line from Tarzan. The grand challenge is not one you want, Licorice. As Griffin, they don't lose anyone, and now they're going to be able to find the Fiora. Goes golden at the last second, but look at that spinning top of a Garen, and Viper takes down the top laner.
And that's the relentlessness of Griffin. They somehow managed to kill Sneaky through Tahm Kench.
I don't think C9 can read correctly the threat windows of this Garen Yuumi combo, because with the Swifty Boots, with the Deadman's Plate, with the Zoomies even, this Garen is just being a solo initiator, and 2 times in a row they've been caught napping while
is one
trying
reason
to
they're pulling this off.
They're doing it again as Licorice does get the riposte, but Viper is no cares in the world. Lays down the gigantic sword, and that is another dead Fiora. Not able to get any split push work done. That inhibitor turret fell a long time ago on the bottom side of the map, and now it's all Griffin.
Chovy!
We're trying to get it. No, it's turned around. Sneaky with the heals helps out his is Elise locking down that kill. And now Griffin, without their mid laner, this could be a huge problem. Viper trying to spin himself away. Griffin, they're not going to be thwarted just yet, and Sword is on the bottom side of the map. That could have bought some time for C9.
Potentially a game-saving cocoon from Blabber there, because they were just going to poke and prod C9 to get open inhibitors, but now that it is a 4v4, Griffin may not have the ability to break this base.
Especially because of how much Baron time was. That's still 2 minutes on the Baron buff, so the War of Attrition would have gone the way. We were talking about how, yeah, no problem, they'll have disengage. It's TP out, attempt here, we're getting interrupted.
Oh, not going to work out there as see you later, Fiora.
But then the other thing is also, Griffin is just more coordinated than C9. That's what we're also learning. And something about Svenskeren versus Blabber that I talked about in North America is that the early game was better with Blabber, but the mid and late was always better with Svenskeren. So I think there will be lots of questions about C9's roster choices from here on out.
Well, Griffin are going to look for this siege now onto C9. Remember, late game team fights were what this team was known for. Is this turret now going very low? That is a very long chain to land onto Blabber, but he's going to survive for the moment, and Zeyzal with the Devour gets rid of that empowered siege minion. Griffin, they only have 30 seconds left on that Baron power play, and Sword has dealt with the mid lane inhibitor turret. Just too many open doors on C9's side of the map. 10 seconds left until Licorice is back available. Chovy connects another chain. Takes a lot of damage for it, but there's the cannon barrage. We're going for another hard engage, waiting for the final chapter to be read out here from Lehens, but he's going to hold on to it for the moment. Finally, throws that one out. Doesn't find any of the snares, but they do find 2 inhibitors, and Griffin has laid waste.
Maybe after this game is over. And small point I was trying to get to is that C9 kept trying to set up in mid lane with Sneaky and Nisqy as a siege duo. How long the lane was with inner turrets down on both sides is why they kept getting run down.
Of Griffin's gold lead.
Yeah, that's exactly what we just saw. It's awesome.
I felt like I was aggrandizing just a little bit, but Griffin now setting up for the next Baron. That's going to be another minute and a half away, but they want control of this river.
Yeah, and also C9 doesn't have that long because they need to send someone bottom, and they don't have teleport on Licorice. So they'd have to send Sneaky bottom, and even if a late game Sona can be stacked, they can't wave clear. So they're actually just trying to get something done by sending all 5 people mid.
Well, they are going to be able to take down this inner turret. Maybe they're going to go for some sort of brute force play. Blabber, I believe, is the villain at the moment. Chovy gets on over, finds Zeyzal, roots him up there with the chain. But not going to continue
might get caught here again.
I mean, they're just trying to keep C9 busy as much as possible because Sword's taking side waves as the bot lane is crashing. If now they push C9 all the way back here, then they can turn for the spawn of Baron in 50 seconds.
Yeah, 45 onto that one now as Licorice has to deal with so many super creeps that have caved in. And now the cannon barrage onto 4 members. A lot of damage is down. What the heck happened to Blabber? He explodes with the pistol shot coming in from Sword. And now Nisqy dives forward, but so does Chovy. They're going to find the damage. It's going to be Nisqy making his way back to the fountain. No summoner spells available as Griffin turn up. The barrels are huge, and now with every inhibitor down, it's Griffin looking for a possibility to win the game. Chovy tries to find Licorice, but that's a great riposte. Keeps him alive. One more match of that first round robin to come after this one.
Don't forget, this is G2's group. They will play in the last match of the day. The head-to-head between Griffin and C9 with HKA at the moment as a afterthought suggests that it's whoever honestly gets the advantage between these two, and it seems like Griffin will get the first.
Yeah, trying to close this one out, but they're going to still have to do it. A lot of short-range champions here, but Viper gets a Q onto this Nexus turret. Chovy off to the side. Licorice trying to get that fight in, but Viper is so incredibly fast. He is going to go down to the GAs. The final chapter is going to come through. Devour down for Zeyzal is so huge onto Licorice to get him back to the fountain and keep him alive, but Griffin still have everyone up, and they've got so many super creeps bearing down on C9.
Access to the fountain and also Sona means a lot of healing. We can retool this once more.
Yep, also still has the Guardian Angel, so Licorice is very dangerous here for Griffin. They've got a long way to get back as well, but look at these super creeps. The Baron buff still going to be there as well as Chovy has to flash to get out of the turret range as now Blabber goes up into the sky, no longer has that repel, and look at these Nexus turrets. They're just getting berated by all of these minions. It's just insane. Zeyzal, another great activation of the Grey Health, and C9 have kept themselves alive, but there is an army that's on Griffin's side trying to bear down on this Nexus.
Licorice
into the backside. Yeah, Licorice looking for some shot to find it. Gets the grand challenge for all that extra healing as well, but you can see the Nexus is now bare. C9, they found Tarzan. He's
Griffin
desperately
can't end.
looking for for the Nexus. Okay, Lehen's final chapter, but it's not going to be that whatsoever as Griffin have to get out of there.
This is just absurd. Like, they have every possible minion hitting C9's base, and C9 have so few tools to even deal with the minions, but Licorice dive bombs the backline, gets kills, a mid-inhib respawns, and C9 repelled the push.
That is the Spear of Shojin, level 18 Fiora, putting out the sick deeps and also having a lot of crowd control depending on how often he can hit people with his riposte. They're looking for exit kills here.
Oh, he doesn't have a Yumi with him.
Cocoon is going to land.
He's still going.
He also runs really fast.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Plate and Swifty Boots.
I mean, Sona's fast too.
No,
I can see why they didn't check.
He can sing as much songs as Solera.
Take Yumi with him.
One goes out. The last one would have to be teleported on now. It dies as well.
Griffin very good at getting multiple teleports onto wards into enemy bases, though. We've seen this one before.
The famous Evelyn ult backwards and teleport end for Griffin against SKT earlier this year. They pulled back. They couldn't have known the health bars or the amount of time those wards would last. So smarter C9 to recall here, even though we had the extra. If your boat has holes on it and you put band-aids, is it repaired?
The inhibitor looks brand new.
Does it float? Does it float, guys?
Amazon priority shipping.
Well, Griffin now powered up with that Elder Drake. Looking to try and once again rid Cloud9 of their inhibitors. Half health on the mid outer, but C9 still have the opportunity for a fight if they can find one. Remember, only one of these inhibitors needs to go down, and then 5 members of Griffin can all run towards this Nexus and possibly just take it down.
They need buddy system here to repel those, so there should be a 3-lane push that gets them at least one inhibitor bloodlessly. But with Song of Celerity and people walking up, that time is not yet now.
Yep, it's a 1-2-2 happening, but 1-3, and
down
goes Niski. See you later. That's the final chapter. It comes in, it grabs the kill, and now C9 without their Zoe. Chovy jumping back and forth as that is a gigantic cannon barrage. So much damage here onto C9. Remember, there are no structures left. Griffin's going to find the Tom Kench. Licorice into the backline, though, gets the grand challenge, but he's down to that GA. Tarzan grabs his opposite number, and there's the spin to win. Viper going to start on this Nexus. And they were weird, they were wonderful, the team compositions were crazy, but Griffin have found it in the end. Another ultimate in the one team fight from Lehen's, and the last Q secures it for Griffin and puts them 2-1 at the end of their round robin.